Right, time to lay a rundown. I've just found some really nice skips, so time to crack these out, I reckon.
Monroe's mother had always been much better at starting things than finishing them. When she died, she left behind over 300 canvases, not one of them finished, along with Monroe, who felt pretty unfinished himself. The orphanage allowed him to keep only one painting, and so he chose the Unfinished Swan that had always been his mother's favorite. But that night, he woke up to find the swan had disappeared. So he took his mother's silver paintbrush and followed the footprints into a little door he hadn't seen before.
Alright, let's get the first level out of the way. That was a bit shit. Haven't practiced this first bit yet today. I've gone through most of the rest of the game though. So, once we get on a roll, we will be on a roll. Where's our path? There it is. Try and shoot some ahead here just to keep the path clear. Sort of know my way through here, but nonetheless, I should probably have practiced the climbing skip here. It does get me sometimes. There we go, we'll give it a go. Hopefully we'll get it first time. Come on. There we go. That wasn't too bad. There's our ladder. I'll head to the right up there. Oh shit, no, we're going to go past that wall. There's the crate which went stairs just to the left. I'm going to use this, hopefully. Yeah, that's what we got it. Always struggle with that one. I don't know why. It's a fairly easy skip. I don't know. It's kind of finicky. All these jumping skips are really finicky. Most of this game is just jumping, to be fair. Now I've got shadows. Let's try and jump off this pot here. Get some nice height around that corner. Right, so the new skips I found are in chapter 3. So we'll be coming on to them after we come up here. Do chapter 2, which is like well, hopefully 10 minutes. And then it's right at the start of chapter 3. I found some nice death abuse skips. Let's see if we can get these pots here on the left quite fast. Yeah, there we go. I think that's ever so slightly faster than the stairs. You can jump quite quickly up the stairs, but it takes a little longer getting to them. I'm playing around with this maze section as well. Can't really find anything. Tried to land on some of the walls maybe, but they're all so far apart you can't jump between them. That's a bit of a shame, but we're good. Get up these stairs. Nice little backwards jump here. And into the basket. Perfect. Right. That was a pretty good start.
Felt good.
As good as ever, I think.
He felt even better when the wind pushed him close enough to reach the swan. He was feeling so good, in fact, that he forgot all about his fear of heights.
No.
But when the swan
Forgotten
wriggled
Kingdom,
free
I think,
and
next.
Monroe fell over
We've
the
got the
side,
vines
he remembered almost
and crane
immediately.
skip.
That might have been the end of Monroe, if this were a shorter
Crane skip
story,
isn't too bad,
but it
though.
isn't, which is why Monroe's troubles were just beginning.
Give me the chapter. Probably hear me spamming the X button quite a lot, just to make sure that we keep speed up. make sure we're going as fast as possible, hence the term speedrun.
Monroe scrambled out of the water and found himself in a massive city with no sign of the Swan or anyone else. Well, except someone's enormous pair of feet. These were attached to a giant who could have been a big help in catching the Swan, but unfortunately, here was the laziest giant who had ever lived, and it was his day off. Having celebrated in his usual way, he was now sleeping it off and quite unable to hear Monroe yelling.
Right, so
While he was looking for a way to wake the giant,
we've got
Monroe noticed something even better.
the gate
A floating
turnstile
ship.
coming up first. Not the best at gate turnstile, but hopefully we'll get it somewhat quickly. You need to sort of memorize where to shoot exactly. This is fine. Yeah. No, just up here. Get a nice jump on. There we go. So if we look up here. Oh, this is feeling quick. We can do it without jumping, but I think it's always better to jump there, just to make sure that we get it in time. Fast boat, yeah. Get a little boost there. Move the way up this. Oh, get the bats. Whoops. Tried skipping these bats. It was not possible. Those bloody things. Those bloody bats, I tell you. What are they like? We've got crane coming up. Just make our way up here. Are you kidding me? Alright, here we go. Oh, did we get it? Yeah, first time. Going for that red paddle there. Alright. Skip the cutscene. And here we go. Get some good vine RNG here. And yeah, if you aim slightly to the right, they should start heading over on their own. Yeah, there we go. Clear the jump here, get out there. A little bit slow just there, but not the end of the world. Some really awkward angles here to go on. Let's try and climb up as fast as possible. There we go. Trigger. You can go before the bridge is built. Now, this bit here. Got to reactivate the vines. And then you drag them over. And that's that trigger. That's nearly got the palace. And then we've got the seawall. And then do it with the hose. That always fucks me, because fuck the hose. Let's try and get up here fast. Got a nice angle there. Trying to throw something to stay up here. There we go. I'm dropping down. I think it's slightly left here, yeah. Come on, lines. And we want to head up the left side here. All we really need here is a little bit. There we go. Oh no! Ah, it normally pulls you up. Alright, we're going to have to kill ourselves. Right. Lost a little bit of time there, but that's fine. Make that jump. Right. That wasn't too bad. We didn't lose too much time. Now at the seawall. Just a couple of seconds maybe, but with the skips coming up, it's not really going to matter too much. Oh, thought we didn't make that for a second. Let's get these vines going. No to the right. Oh, I jumped way too early there. Gives you a nice little leeway with these vines. There we go. And to the right here as we move along. And then do this bit over here. There. Ooh, give it to me. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes I'll jump those corners, but did not think that today was the day. I think we're going for a leap of faith in this one. We'll roll it down first. Yeah. Last run I went for a leap of faith, but we lost some seconds just back there, so. Here we go. The metal bit. You can jump along these horizontal sections here, but it's just not worth the risk sometimes. Fuck, it caught me. Cut this nice and shallow. Lovely. Sometimes you can spray through the window and it can help you out quite a lot here.
Even half finished, the creature had no trouble swallowing up all the king's soldiers, half his zoo, and 3 peppermint gazebos. It was only with the help of his bow and the giant that the king was able to force it into the sea. And though the water remained black for years after, the creature was never seen again.
After chapter 3. There you go. Oh no, I thought we missed it. Oh, fucking hell.
Monroe waved goodbye to the giant and set sail. But no matter how fast he went, the swan was always just out of reach. And not for the first time that day, Monroe suspected
on the next
he was
chapter.
being
I've had a bit
led
of a
somewhere.
warm-up, so.
Then they flew into a cloud, and everything went black.
see how this goes. Been wanting to cut time on this section for ages because I think
Monroe
it's the
sailed
longest
on
one
in
in the game.
darkness, following the swan's voice, but he never saw a thing. Not the stars, not the swan, and certainly not the tree he got stuck in. When the clouds lifted, the swan was gone, leaving Monroe alone in the middle of an immense forest. Since there was nothing else to be done, he jumped.
So now just this first bit, I'm going to head to the right here actually. This is the longest bit, before the river. It's called the woods, and actually we're headed right here. Should drop down. Yeah. And then, yeah, we've got that. Just going to hit this to get some more light. And previously we didn't have anything until the river in terms of skips. But with some death abuse, hopefully, we can get a little bit faster. I'm not quite sure how fast this is, or how much time it saves, or even the best way to do some of them, because there may be slightly better death abuse skips that we could find. But just going to give it a go, lower our time, see where it takes us. I'm just going to hit that quickly. Gives us a little bit of extra time to come up. Come on, that's fine, that'll do us. Will it? Oh no, that's a big ball, that's us done. Fucking hell, lost some time there. Come on. Need to get a little bit closer there. Maybe light up the track here? Yeah, as it's rolling toward. Okay, that's fine. Now I feel like we're a bit close. If we don't touch that, just reset the swipes. And then, yeah, we're here now. So we should knock this down the hill. And then we're going to go in front of it and death abuse that. The water, we're going to head straight in. And there's the river. The third swipe. Yeah, there we go. Don't hit the rock. Oh god. Oh sweet Jesus. One or two more death abuses coming up. I actually pushed it quite far forward here, so... And then... here... Going to take this path, it's going to light up a rock just in front of us. So we sit on the edge of this rock, and then this way. On the tree. So I saved a good amount of time there. Now we've got the blue rooms. Just going to light this up a second.
The king had never had much luck with people, so instead of trying to find a wife, he painted one. When she opened her eyes, the king was astonished.
No.
He had created a female version of himself. The king was in love.
Oh, I don't know if that's going to be tall enough. Yeah, we're good. didn't think I was going to make that. Oh dear God. It's so heavy. Oh, you bastard. There we go. That's a little bit slow. We could have gone a bit thinner there and made some time up. And then here, I'm going to make sure this one's thin. There you go. Yeah. Why is this not falling? Oh, I've broken there. Not the best blue rooms here. It's definitely time to be made up. Let me out of the window. Fucking hell. That was not great. Yeah, big intro. Cut this corner nice and sharp. That's nice. Nearly light up on this thing over here.
The king never finished another painting. Then one night he went to sleep and couldn't even finish his own dream. And he's been trapped inside it ever since.
Oh dear God, we're fine. That was close. The problem is moaning and started running this game on the gone through this. So don't do that. Just turn around this ladder. Are you kidding me? Are you actually fucking kidding me? I don't know why I risked it, to be fair. Coming toward the end here. I don't know what kind of time this is like. Hopefully we saved. Felt quite fast. I forgot to stick my timer on my phone. I will retime it after this, and
As Monroe stood there trying to think of
in the
something
title
to say,
whether I've beaten the record or
the
not.
statue shuddered and the hatch slammed shut. And now there was no more need for talking. The king was awake.
Alright, on to the final chapter. We're going to try and do the terrible box skipping thing at the end.
Ah, it's you, the boy from my dream. What a strange dream it was. My life's work was being destroyed, and all I could do was watch.
Come, sit here by the fire.
It all began right there, in the house I grew up in. I heard a heavy knocking at the door, just like on the night I left. I opened the door, but there was nothing there, just white. But when I got outside, disaster. Some miscreant had painted everything. My garden was ruined.
Okay, good section.
And then my statue spoke and said, "Help me! Some little hooligan is running around splattering everything in the garden. I think he's headed for the..." Something got in my mouth. Oh dear.
Head left.
And then the credits appeared.
Your dreams have credits?
Oh yes, and subtitles. And then
It's a nice
I saw my
catch.
beautiful city.
Very often distrust these
strangled by those
vines.
disgusting vines. I built it to stand 100 lifetimes, and instead it'll be buried in one. A monument for weeds.
We head up a little bit here. Hopefully we can jump in. Yeah.
The dining hall was full of people, like the old days. It smelled like roasted goose. For a moment, I was happy.
Ending and the box skipping.
Then suddenly,
Dear
I
God,
was
wish me
alone
luck.
again.
I'm terrible at it.
the world had become cold and dark. I felt my own death rising up around me. I floated past chunks of the
Concentration.
house I built, or started building. Scarcely 10 years later, and the whole thing was in ruins. My works were meant to last forever, but most of them will be gone before I am.
And the funeral.
I was at a funeral. My own, as it turned out. No
I'm
one
happy
was
with that
there
box skipping.
except you. I saw my monument. My last hope of leaving something that would live on
Fucking
after me.
gravestones.
And I began to
Right,
walk
that's
towards it. And with each
Let's
step I
see.
took, I got larger.
With
I
the
just
box
kept
skipping
growing and
and
growing, like a teenager.
With that chapter 3, I reckon we're beating it. You'll see the time of the title,
Gentle push,
and
my monument
it's going to be
crumbled
awesome. And I make no
sank.
promises because it might not
I
be.
saw my life's work laid out in front of me.
All right.
Soon it would
That,
crumble into
regardless
dust,
of what it is,
or
I
be
will
painted
beat
over
it.
by someone who would come after me, the same way I
Yeah.
painted over what was here before me.
See you in the next one, I suppose, when I beat this one. Right on.
When the universe ended, I knew that everything I'd made was over. And as I sat there, looking out into the darkness, I thought back on all the things I'd built and left unfinished. I realized something. I wasn't sad that it was all gone. I'd fun making all that stuff. I would have done it anyway. And then somehow I knew that when I woke up, all my work really would be destroyed. And that's when you showed up. I don't know how you got here, but I'm glad to see you. I have something for you. This brush isn't mine anymore. My work is over. It belongs to you now. I hope it makes you happy, and that someday they will say, he is a better man than his father. That door will take you anywhere you want to go. But leave quickly, child. None of this will last for long.
And that night, even though he was very tired, Monroe did something that would have made his mother very happy. He painted.